playing the antagonist is a novel and not super common concept in games. The most obvious antagonistic misadventures that come to mind are the criminal hijinks of Grand Theft Auto games. There's games that offer ethical choices as well, such as the Fable series, and there's ambiguous stories and characters like those in Shadow of the Colossus. If I've learned anything from the greatest TV show in history, Digimon Tamers, it's that good and evil is all a matter of perspective. Take Shadow of the Colossus for example. Wander thinks that he is the good guy because the life of his lost love is more important to him than the lives of the Colossi. But to the Colossi, Wander's just this dick coming around and killing them for no reason. But I want to talk about one of the more famous examples of being the baddie in a game. Destroy all humans. You talk about an alien invasion, you're usually the big macho guy saving the world, not the little green guy trying to take over the planet. So this is a really intriguing concept. But is he just a misunderstood guy? Is he really just trying to spread love and peace? Nah, this guy's a bad little fucker. Hello kids, it's Helispookter, welcome back to my channel. And I promise you it won't take 6 years to make the next video. So I thought a natural progression from a PS1 rhythm game review would be a PS2 third-person shooter adventure review. I've had a lot of interest in revisiting this game ever since the remake was announced, and I originally played this game back in like 2005, 2006ish, and when I bought it I was like vaguely aware of the core concept, and that's kind of what led me to want to play it. And when I did play it, I fell in love with everything about it. I would sit in my room with a bag of Mao-Wams and destroy them and the humans. So in the spirit of nostalgia, I've grabbed the sweeties and I had grabbed the sweeties, but apparently I can't have anything in this house. And oh, do you know what I'm gonna have to settle for? I say settle, but I'm actually quite happy with this. This has just caught my eye out in the window. Why have we got giant strobes in the fucking window? It's been well over a decade since I last played this game. I remember some of the early game stuff, like the stuff on Turnip Seed Farm. I remember the Miss Rockwell thing as well. And I always remember getting stuck at this one mission, and it was the whole reason why I never actually finished the game. So I'm a little nervous about playing that part again in case I get stuck. But I've got a lot of enthusiasm this time, a lot of motivation to get past it, so I'm sure we'll do just fine. Although I do have the physical copy for the PS2, I did buy the PS4 digital version for the review, for better quality footage and because when I did play this on my PS2 it kept freezing, which has a lot to do with the state of the disc and little to do with the state of the game. Whew. Interestingly, this wasn't what the game was supposed to be. The concept was by someone who didn't end up working on the game at all, Matt Harding aka Dancing Matt. He jokingly made a comment about his rejected idea for a more family-friendly game called Oddballs, instead suggesting a game where you kill everyone. He even went so far as to come up with the name and playing as an alien invader. He received his conceptual credit but didn't work on the game because he didn't want to spend years of his life making a game about killing people. So the game was developed by the now defunct Pandemic Studios. They made a few Star Wars games, Battlefront, not that one, and the Mercenaries games. I sound so scouse. Mercenary. It was published by the also now defunct THQ. Although the THQ trademark has since been bought by developer Nordic Games, who are now known as THQ Nordic, and in charge of the remake set for a 2020 release. I'm so excited for the remake. I just love the remake. What am I doing? I don't know.
The game is set in 1950s America, and we open up to a rocket launch being overseen by the military.
In flies a UFO which gets caught up in the test, causing it to crash. Out stumbles Cryptosporidium 136, surrounded by armed people. Then he collapses. Cut to the mothership where we meet Orthopox 13, Pox for short, and Cryptosporidium? Yeah, this is Crypto 137, a clone of the previous Crypto who crashed. Pox explains how the Furon race uses cloning as a means of reproduction due to their
complete and utter lack of genitalia.
And as the DNA banks are becoming degraded, they need to search elsewhere for more Furon DNA. Not sure how this works, but luckily for them, some humans and Furons experimented. Which means all humans have some Furon DNA in them. So we're off to Earth to gather the human DNA, research the planet and save Crypto 136. And I love this opening cutscene, man. It sets the tone for the rest of the game with its humour and characters, especially Crypto, who comes across as sarcastic, narcissistic, and single-mindedly obsessed with blowing shit up.
He's gotta rescue me. I mean, I gotta brains, man. When do I get to blow things up?
First stop on our tour is Turnip Seed Farm, a rural location with not a huge amount of life, but here we need to identify the dominant life form on the planet. Crypto and Pox assume it's the first thing they see, cows.
They eat with their mouths.
And this section serves as a sort of tutorial as we learn to use our psychic abilities. We use the Cortex scan to read minds. This also serves to charge up this meter, which depletes when we use other abilities such as the psychokinesis, which moves things psychically, hypnosis, which we unlock later, and extraction. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Awesome! We unlock our first weapon here too, the Zap-O-Matic, which electrocutes foes. It's pretty slow to kill but doesn't require ammo, it just recharges. And it leaves the bodies intact for After causing a fuss and garnering attention, we take to our spaceship to destroy all the buildings for some reason. I literally can only justify this section being here because tutorial. Once complete, we're free to explore the level. And this is the general structure of the game from here on out. Complete a mission, stay and explore if you like, or return to the mothership to start the next mission. There's 6 levels in all. The more urban areas, urban, that's another Scouse word, urban. The more urban areas of Rockwell and Santa Modesta. The places crawling with military in Area 42 and Uniontown, and Capital City, or it's Washington DC.
White House.
And we continue to collect weapons for Crypto and our Saucer, which are all tied into story progression. Oh man, Crypto's weapons are pretty fun. Dude, there's a fucking anal probe. Fire it at a human, make them shit their pants and run, and then... But it's also not super powerful. For most of the game I use the ion detonator, which is like a grenade launcher with remote detonation, and the insta-death disintegrating balls of fire. The disintegrator array. It's absolutely the most useful weapon in the game. It needs ammo, but you can upgrade it to hold more and fire more without costing extra ammo, which is super helpful. All these weapons are really fun and satisfying to use. There's no lock-on, but it's not super necessary when they don't need precision and have a wide range. Oh, before I forget, sometimes as part of Crypto's invasion, we need to blend in, disguise ourselves and somewhat stealth around. This ability is called Hullabubbing, and is as simple as pressing the circle when close to a human and assuming their form. This decreases your concentration though, so you need to scan people's mind to increase it again.
What's an Elvis? Must be a new model car. I gotta upgrade to one of those. The 1954 Elvis convertible.
I have a rifle. Her name is Sue.
If only there were some way to electronically facilitate the private viewing of illicit photography. I predict it will happen in the distant future of 1975. It will be called the Discotron.
And get used to this. It's not an infinite pool of quotes, so you're going to hear the same things over and over again. I mostly had a lot of fun playing with Crypto with the ground missions. They're surprisingly quite varied, especially early on. Some favourites include a really early mission in Rockwell where you have to disguise yourself, find the dumbest person at the fair.
Man, oh man, she may be the dumbest Miss Rockwell ever. And check out them cantaloupes. God, I love America.
And hypnotise them back to your ship for probing.
Wait a minute. Where am I? This sure doesn't look like the pie-eating contest.
Oh, and the classic mission where you take on the guise of the mayor to quell rumours of the weird UFO occurrences. This was legit hilarious. Like, just blame communism and act patriotic and you'll do just fine.
So, as you can see, there's nothing to trouble your puny human brains about.
So the mission that I talked about earlier that I always used to get stuck on is this one here at the drive-in movie theatre. When I was about 14, 15, I literally would just die and die and die and die. The objective of this mission is that you have to protect this movie reel as it's being attacked by agents because Pox is showing a subliminal message brain control thing, I don't know, some shit. Important thing is that it mustn't be destroyed. I'm legit anxious about playing this section again, like, I struggled with it so much because it was so hard. I'm proper convinced that I'm not going to get past it. Just pray for me, pray for Helispookter.
Rat, ain't ya? I want to get you some water.
Wait, that was really fucking easy. Was I really shit at games? I mean, it wasn't always a good time with crypto. I had a few glitches which were quite annoying, like when I had to clear out the pool party, but this guy got stuck in the pool even though this bitch was all like, if this is the pool party, why isn't anyone actually in the pool? Use your eyes, you bint, there's someone pure drowning in there. Ugh, I just had to fidget around until I could PK him to fuck, and that did the job. Another glitch I encountered was when I was defending the TV station and towers from the military so Bert could broadcast some pro-alien propaganda or some shit. My health bar wasn't showing my health correctly, so I died a few times doing this mission because I just didn't know if I was about to die or not. And this is a glitch that persistently occurred throughout the game, even in the sources sometimes. Funnily, it's not what I remember encountering when I first played this game on the original PS2 disc, but then again, I never reached this point because I was shit. And when you die, you have to start the mission all over. And when the mission is long like this one, it was super tedious. You have to watch Crypto launch towards Earth and you can only skip the end of this sequence, then you have to watch the ship land as Pox explain the mission to you again in an unskippable segment, and I'm just like,
when do I get to blow things up?
Although every time you die it's really clever, as you get a new Crypto clone, which increases the number at the end of your name by 1, so I start the game as Crypto137, but after 8 deaths, I'm now Crypto145, and my maths better be right, or that is fucking embarrassing. The worst mission as Crypto was Mr. Crypto Goes to Capital City. It starts off well, as we get this still of Crypto in a suit, and he's so cute! And then 30 minutes of bullshit happened. So the objective is to scan the scientists' minds coming out of the White House for information, follow them to the Octagon, and gain access using the password you've obtained by mind reading, all while garnering no military awareness indicated by these symbols. I should explain the game has a GTA style awareness meter with 4 levels: general awareness, police, military and majestic, which are the G-men, men in black suit sort of guys, headed by the mysterious silhouette. Getting to the Octagon was a pest. First time, the guy you give the password to was killed by someone shooting at me. Start again. Then one of the scientists got hit by a car. Start again. Right, so after you get past the guard with a password, you watch a cutscene between this military guy Armquist and Silhouette. You find out your ship has been found and you need to get back before it's stolen. Luckily without the added pressure of stealth this time, just fucking tanks. The first time I got to this point, I ran out of time because I went the wrong way. And this is a good time to bring up the navigation system. Your objective is indicated by this purple diamond. Enemies and humans are shown by red and purple squares respectively, but there's no map screen in the game. Most of the time this isn't an issue, but when I only know the vague direction, I want to be able to plan my route better rather than take a lucky guess with left or right. So after I start going back to the ship, I'm getting attacked by absolutely fucking everything and the fucking health bar glitches out again and I just want to scream. I also didn't have the best time with the saucer missions. It's just avoiding a barrage of shit most of the time. The saucer does get upgraded with 2 additional weapons on top of the death ray you start with, but they don't feel massively different from one another, just a little bit more powerful. But unlike Crypto, whose shield recharges after a period of time without taking damage, the saucer doesn't, and it's fucking tragic. You can get health pickups thankfully, but usually you have to destroy a building first to get them, and they're surrounded by bastard missile launchers and heat-seeking shit, so it's easy to die. Farewell Crypto 151 or whatever, I don't fucking know.
Overall though, the main campaign is a bunch of fun. It really starts to pick up in action around Area 42, and I actually started to feel some challenge and die a couple of times from that challenge and not the bullshit. It felt so good to complete some of these missions. I'd give myself a roar of applause. I am the bringer of chaos. I am destroyer of worlds. But imagine if 15-year-old me had played this bit. I would have just kept dying and dying and dying and dying. I would have been on Cryptosporidium 39572. We would have filled Goodison Park with crypto corpses.
Obviously the main campaign isn't the whole game, and there are side missions to complete, but honestly, don't bother. The side missions are pretty pointless and aren't even indicated on your radar, only by a glowing beacon in the sky, which isn't super helpful. I don't know what mission it is until I get there unless I've memorised the locations. Another moment when a map screen would have been useful. But they're not really side missions as much as mini challenges. They don't evolve Crypto or Pox as characters, we don't learn anything or anyone new, and the world isn't built upon. It's just kill this amount of things in this amount of time, or go over there within this time limit. And the reward is only DNA, which is this game's currency.
When you complete a mission, you unlock a harder version of it, but it's usually just a reduced time limit or increase the amount of things you have to destroy. They cap at a certain point, but man, does it take forever with very little challenge. Let's go back to Turnip Seed Farm for a moment. There's a mission to destroy 6 farmers in the time limit. Easy enough. Then it goes up to 8 farmers, then 10, then 12, all the way up to 20 farmers, only increasing in increments of 2. Then there's a mission to collect a number of brain stems within the time limit, starting at 4. Real simple, but each time you do the mission again, it increases the number of brain stems to collect by 1. I got all the way to 13 when I realised it wasn't affecting my completion of the level at all, and it was super easy to exploit. I was just doing the same circuit of the farm, anal probing everyone, and when I reached the start of the circuit again, the original NPCs had respawned, so I did it again. And by the way, I hadn't started the mission yet, as the brain stems don't disappear at all. So I just went round collecting the brain stems I'd already harvested, so another one with no challenge, but with a little setup. Oh man, I hated the Armageddon side missions in which Crypto took to the saucer to destroy all the buildings within a time limit. By the way, this includes the time it takes for Crypto to get to the saucer and go inside in an unskippable cutscene. The one in Area 42 can go fuck itself. So you always start a level in your saucer, but need to be on foot to start a mission. So I want to be parked next to the Armageddon mission, so that the time to get to the saucer isn't half the time of the mission wasted. But I almost get destroyed on the way there, and because health is scarce and the shield doesn't replenish, I died and died. I even went on foot to destroy all the missile shooters before starting the mission, and then physics said, fuck you, and I got hit by a tank and flew towards it, so no, I'm out. So we used the DNA collected to upgrade Crypto's abilities and weapons on the mothership. Weirdly though, it's almost fake progression, as the upgrades are only unlocked gradually throughout the story, and it's fairly easy to get enough DNA to buy the upgrades as they unlock. In fact, some missions flat out don't let you leave until you've collected a certain amount of DNA. Grinding for DNA is really easy. I used that mission on Turnip Seed Farm where you kill 20 farmers in a minute and a half for 300 DNA each time. 20 minutes later and I can get a triple shot from my disintegrator ray. See, I don't know if the upgrading system is so linear just to add a feeling of growth, or because it is so easy to exploit DNA. Like, if all the upgrades for a weapon or ability were available as soon as it was unlocked, then with a little investment of time you would be ultra OP. The game also has collectibles in the form of probes. They reward you with 75 DNA and contribute to the completion of the level. And there's fucking loads of them. There is 50 in Santa Modesta. 50! And I struggle with Santa Modesta because there is no map. There's no physical way to see the boundaries without traveling outside of them, and then you just get pucks going.
Crypto, you don't have authorization to leave.
Over and over and over.
Return to the invasion site.
So I'm a dumb little shit and I need help finding these things, but without a map, walkthroughs consist of describing where the probes are and trying to interpret those locations, or watching a video and trying to find where that might be in the level. Jesus, I just want a fucking map! Man, I'm not even sure what the probes are. I mean, they look cool.
In fact, the models of Pox and Crypto in particular look fairly decent from a PS2 era game. The design is like a generic little alien and it's stunning. When the whole game feels like a B-movie, any other design would have seemed out of place. Otherwise, there's nothing to really complain about with regards to a game that's this old and is about to get a complete remake.
There's some pop-ins during cutscenes and some weird flashing behind newspapers sometimes for some reason. I mean, NPCs look a little dated now, and the models for the Majestic are all like the same guy pretty much. It's the same with the military too. And the trees kind of look like slot together models. But man, there's some shit that's still so gross, like this cutscene with the Majestic agent. Like, this is brutal. I can't wait to see this in the remake. Oh, and the sounds that go along with the gross stuff is so squelchy. The saucer makes a satisfying hovering noise, the guns sound otherworldly, and the Majestic weapons are decidedly futuristic. The voice acting is so on point too. Like, not always amazing, but that's definitely intentional to get that B-movie vibe. Again, Crypto and Pox are just fucking hilarious, and I can't imagine them any other way.
What's shaking, Pox? You look a little, what's the word? Constipated.
As a mum of 2 young kids, I have to often just abandon a game and go run after a baby. So I have a unique insight that I get to see like all the game's idle stuff.
And the idle talk from Pox up on the mothership is super legit hilarious. It's constantly fourth wall breaking.
Well, it's your electric bill. You could turn the console off, you know. Haven't you ever heard of global warming?
And dude, the music, it's like theremins and shit, super sci-fi. It kicks in at the right time, it fits the tone of the game perfectly, it's eerie, otherworldly, it's surreal, it's a fucking B-movie, it's perfect. So let's really get into this sci-fi stuff and start talking about the story. So, skip to this timestamp to avoid spoilers, I don't know where I'm going to put it. So as much as we're hollybobbing all about the shop, we've made a name for ourselves and the Majestic and the military want us gone. The military, headed up by Armquist and his fucking robot soldiers, reluctantly take orders from Silhouette. Crypto heads to Area 42 to rescue 136, but instead finds him dead and alien autopsied. Angered, he destroys the cadaver and the research. Then using a nuclear device, he blows up Area 42 in the hopes of assassinating Armquist, but he escapes and regroups. Crypto follows him but crashes, which leads to his capture in Union Town, and he must escape, regain his weapons and ship, and travel to Capital City. Here we eavesdrop on a conversation between Armquist and Silhouette at the Octagon regarding plans on destroying the alien threat. Heading back to Union Town, Crypto takes on the guise of a warlord to try and turn people against Armquist. When this fails, Armquist fights back in a giant power suit. Crypto defeats him, gives him some fake shit about wanting peace, and just kills him.
I think what we really wanted was to be just like you.
Really?
Really.
I guess at the end of the day, we really are all just human beings.
Hearing news that President Huffman is due to make a speech, we return to Capital City and follow a convoy of cars to the White House, only to be ambushed by the Majestic. Crypto travels to the real location of the speech outside Capitol Building and assassinates the president. Although his death is covered up, and apparently the president only has a minor headache. Senators plan to hold an election, but Crypto just kills them all, as Pox says this will leave the Americans leaderless. Now Armquist and the president are dead, Pox declares the invasion a success. Crypto agrees to meet with Silhouette, who wants to surrender to the Furons in person. After a tussle, it's revealed that Silhouette is a woman disguised as a man, as she thinks that women wouldn't be taken seriously. She reveals a giant robot called RoboPrez powered by the brain of President Huffman. Crypto takes to the saucer and destroys RoboPrez. After his defeat, all Crypto has to do now is kill Silhouette. With her dying words, she reveals that there are Majestic forces all around the world ready to take on the Furons. The final cutscene sees President Huffman address America blaming communists poisoning the water supply for all the recent occurrences. Testing facilities are in place for people to be analysed and the toxins removed. But oh wait, that's not the president. It's Holobob Crypto. And actually, I didn't hate the final mission, even though it partly took place in the saucer. I was genuinely dreading it, but there was plenty of health and ammo and less shit shooting at you, so it didn't feel so cheap. The final fight with Silhouette is pretty easy too, if you just keep moving and shooting. Mildly underwhelming, but I'm not disappointed, I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, the story ain't super in-depth and thought-provoking, but it's gone from, does this car run the planet, to, holy shit, I'm the president. Like, you want to press on and find out what crazy shit the military will pull out, how Majestic will change her tactics, what the fuck Crypto will say next.
Mind woozy, vision blurred, bladder bursting, must get to a lavatory.
A particular favourite of mine are the newspaper headlines with flimsy excuses and rationale for the bizarre occurrences. And it stays mad for the whole time, but it's open-ended. Yes, we've conquered America, but what about the rest of the world? There's Majestic everywhere, remember? The humour that goes along with it is full of pop culture references to the 50s setting and some gorgeous toilet humour. I was actually laughing out loud at some points.
Little green spaceman!
I am not green.
Although some of these references are going over my head as an English millennial. Wait, am I a millennial? Is nearly 32 old? Again, it's Crypto and Pox that truly make this a fantastic experience. And man, I fucking love Crypto. He's so small and cute, but he's also ruthless and terrifying. He's foul and unfeeling, and damn, he's named after a fucking horrible gastrointestinal bug. Or maybe it was named after him. Either way, he's just awful, and I just adore him for it. Hi Dad! You coming? Say hello, it's William! Man, I was worried this game was going to be some magical, nostalgic memory, but I genuinely had a really good time with it, and I didn't really get overly frustrated. I mean, I could have benefited from having a map screen, and more varied and detailed NPCs might have built the world a little better, but it still functioned perfectly fine. The controls are really tight, the jetpack was a little floaty. Fuck, I forgot to talk about the jetpack. And if the side missions were a little more varied, then maybe I would have had more of an excuse to go back and explore these levels. But imagine this game as a big open world GTA kind of style game. But as is, the game is a little linear. No! Also, it might just be me, but my game had a few fatal crashes as well. Currently this game is on the PlayStation Network, on the PS4, priced at $15.99, which makes it the second most expensive. Was that necessary? What are you doing? Project Zero, on the floor. The fourth one, the only released in Japanese, really expensive rare one. Thank you. From this. Amiibo! Amiibo! Currently this game is $15.99 on the... This is it, by the way, you're just going to have to listen to this in the background. This game is currently $15.99 on the PlayStation Network, which makes it a little bit on the pricey side, and it is the second most expensive standalone game on there. It's relatively light on content, so I wouldn't advise going this way. Better way to go is to go on eBay and get the PS2 copy physical disc for about $5. And considering this game is about to be made obsolete by a remake, that's probably the way to go. So the remake may fix some of these problems that I've been talking about in this game, but maybe they were fixed with a remake.
You what? A fucking remake? You mean a sequel, you fucking moron? You're holding a fucking sequel, dipshit. Oh man, I can't actually believe that I've finally made this video. Like, months in the making, years of wanting to do it, and I've finally fucking done it. Oh my god, like, this is surreal. I guess if you're listening to this, it means you've made it to the end of the video. Just thank you 900 times. That's insane that you've come here. There's a fucking half an hour long video about a fucking alien. But yeah, stay tuned, because obviously this is gonna be something that I'd like to continue doing in the future. Please comment below. Constructive criticism, only constructive. I'm a very fragile person, I can't take anything more than that. And I'm sure that we will be seeing each other again soon, very soon. Goodbye. Subscribe.